We all know deep down who we are supposed to be. Usually, it's an idealized version of yourself that you dream about. And so, I have a few techniques for you that would help you to switch off the doubt and average version of you and go into the version that's just like a superhero for you. And usually, we're not even thinking like that this version could enter the real life and that we would become the people that we dream about. Or can you imagine how you would feel? Like if you're not that confident right now, how you would feel to talk to person and look them straight in the eyes for like 1 minute, straight 1 minute, or just starting something like starting a new business or starting 30-day challenge or whatever, or really breaking a habit. This all is connected with the sense of discomfort, like a real discomfort. Unfortunately, most of the time people give up because it feels just too unattainable and too scary. And to start, look at yourself now and look at yourself where you were like 5 years ago. That's a big leap and big amount of time where so many changes happened. And you might not be even conscious of it, but there were a lot of changes, even though you want it or not. Because if something in this world is normal, it's change. However, the majority of people don't get it. They all have a certain image of you in their mind. And so when they see you, they expect that you are going to be just you as they remembered it. Because they also don't like the change. Change for so many people means instability, uncertainty. There are tons of people that just don't give a damn about what people think. However, there are also people that they just care about what people think. Even though they really shouldn't, they do. Unless they know it and they're conscious of it and they want to work on it, or they experience this fear and they do the thing they really wanted to do anyways, like that's called bravery. And I believe that if you're watching this video, you might be somewhat on the side of a person that really thinks about their environment and possibly doesn't want to disappoint in a way, or create this surprise moment like, who is she or who is he? Like, I don't know you like that, you've changed. First things first, we need to know who you are scared to be. What this means, you gotta take a paper and pencil and just get crazy. Have a freaking writing party. Put a song, light up candle, make a beverage, and just sit down and write. I really want you to write it down. It wouldn't have this psychological effect that the writing does. The same with writing it on a computer. Okay, and get weird. No one sees you, no one will read it, ever. Really get weird with it, because I really want you to feel your most like shiny, your authentic self. And look, do it even if you don't have the paper. Like, here I was really in need to write it. Something was like, look, now I really have this freaking clear vision, so you gotta find something. So I took old diary. It's like from 2008, and I covered all the aspects of my life, and it's all here. Really beautiful diary before, but this is beautiful future in here, so it's worth it. So that's why first thing is to know what you want, like what you desire. And then you almost have like 80% done, because this is the most important part. You can imagine, like you can do so many things, go from A to Z to B to K, so many points in your life. You can go all there, but you'll get nowhere. You'll be still in this circle of, I don't know where to go, but I'm still doing so much. That's why people that just don't think that much, they just go way further, just because they just don't really think about it. They don't do like this, and they don't go like from this point to here, and they're like, I don't know. This, I now see this problem, and now I did this analysis, and it's just the results are really bad. So I'm not gonna go there. Well, of course you're gonna go back, and then you're gonna go to another point, and then another, and then another. Look, you can find eventually one way that you're gonna take, and it's a good approach, because you're still not giving up. You're still doing something, and that's way better than just giving up on yourself, which is one of the, don't do that. Don't just do that. I need to like show you what I was like trying to show you with my hands. This is like the person, this is the circle of a person who is really like well educated, thinks about stuff so much. So he goes here, and now here he just like, as I told you, he's like, oh no, too many risks, no. So I'm gonna go back here, then I'm gonna go back here. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points that were possible to take, and that took his time and effort and attention. Okay, now we have this person, and this is the goal. They're gifted the same time on this earth, beautiful, but one is less gifted with his thought process, or he just like don't give a damn, let's say. So he goes here. That's the first thing. Okay, we have the first step. He doesn't really see any risks, because he might like be aware of them, but he's like, I don't care. I'm stubborn, I'm delusional a little bit, I really believe in myself, and I don't care what people say. So this person makes another step. Okay, he can even make it like this. Let's third step, let's go. He's almost there, but this guy is still dancing in his circle. Fourth step, and this man is in his goal. That's why the importance of a goal is so important. Okay, so that's why the goal is so important. Always, first things first, anything that you want to like create, even in school, in work, in life, in relationships, make one point that you are both aiming, in case of relationship, or you're just aiming. Second step, be very honest with yourself. What this means, we have to look at ourselves now and compare ourselves with the ideal version. Look at it and be like, all right, this is not really the same picture. I'm thinking do this in like maximum in 1 day. Like, again, be efficient. The most important phase at the end is always execution, and is always just going there to the world and be like, I'm not prepared, but I'm gonna do that. And trust me, if you go there and do the stuff, you are anyways going to be the only one doing it. Look, there needs to be a balance. You gotta have the subtle strategy at least. If you do a business, you gotta have a strategy, you gotta have this plan. But if you are more of a doer, like, I guarantee you that doers are always a little bit further than planners. Keep it balanced. As long as you wake up and do one thing that your future self, the self that will wake up tomorrow, will thank you for doing something today, you're good to go. With the honesty, you gotta be first honest with yourself, like, is this really me? And the second thing, you gotta accept that you really want to be the person. Like there is even subtle vulnerability in this, because if you accept that you just want to be someone or just want to have something, you're exposing yourself to your to your desires and to something that you don't have yet, and that you're not perfect. So this is also a little bit of a battle with ego. Second option is to be completely done with things that are happening in your life and just be completely like fed up. And this type of deprivation gives you actually the motivation to really do already something, because this isn't bearable anymore. And then you gotta remember that your fear is the guide. The fear is type of indication that you really cared about the stuff that you're doing. And it's not that you can't have a fear and do something only after you get rid of the fear. Look, we can have the fear on the back seat. It's chilling, it's there, we know about it. But we ain't gonna stop in our ride just because fear is sitting in the car. It's not allowed to touch the steering wheel, okay? You are going to do that. But metaphorically, imagine how you're going to do everything in your life, what really makes sense and what makes probably some type of difference. Like, success is built on many failures. And I feel like not many people are talking about really successful people that made it, but they didn't stop. They didn't stop even though they had like 16 failures in a row. Like, someone would be done at the third failure. He would be like, look, this is not working. I'm not the problem. The system is. And that's why the honesty is so important. And the person who you're afraid to be is there for the failures and knows that any failure he can manage. Like, failure is as natural for successful people as nowadays their income. Very natural thing, because they just know that it's not a big deal. But you never stop yourself for anyone. Never. Never stop your actions and your intentions that might be pure, that might even help someone. Never stop them in order to not disappoint someone. That's not a good contribution to the world. You're not helping yourself, you're not helping the people that you could help, and you're definitely not helping the person who you would disappoint, because these people who would say, oh, you've changed, I'm not really satisfied with your work, or something like that. Anything that you would do, they would always find something else to criticize. Never ever listen to these people. If you want to listen to someone, listen to people who are on the top of 5% of people that you just love and admire and see as one day you could be like next to them. Listen to these people, or listen to not like the top 5% people, but just someone who is better than you financially or in any field that you want to be. We're equal, if you know what I mean, but numbers don't lie, you know. So you can go to the person who has more and just learn from them. Throughout this journey, also develop a certain faith, first in yourself, and second in something bigger. Like, it doesn't have to be in God or in universe, although it's a very good option, I recommend. But you can develop a faith in a purpose, which is also somewhat spiritual-ish, I would say. But you can round it like into building a legacy or something like that, just to cover the fear with something so freaking big, such as faith in God or faith in purpose or like faith in helping the society. Like, you can be cringe as hell, but as long as you're helping someone, there is no place for people that are haters and laughing, that might be like the source of the fear that you might be having, because you have this freaking big purpose to fulfill here. There's even no space for attention to give to these people, because what they're doing, I see them being on their phones and laughing at others. What type of energy is that? What type of goal is that? That seems like a very, very miserable type of living. I wouldn't want that, and I feel sorry for them. Will always. And to conclude this, I hope less than 20 minutes long video, I want to say that only you know who you are supposed to be. You know that through your intuition, through what you're curious about, through what you can't get your eyes out of that particular thing, like video. Like for me, when I was starting dancing, it was dance videos. Like, I was watching brilliant dancers for like 2 hours, and then I would lay down and just fantasize about it. But I never really took any action until like 4 years ago or 5. And it was like one of the best types of discomfort that I felt, because it gave me this type of freedom, you know. And this is basically with anything new in your life. It's just the basic phase. You want it, you're gonna feel very weird, and you're gonna be criticized or laughed at. Well, and what? That's going to be one day also in the past, so who really cares about it? And the next thing, there's going to be this phase where you are kind of starting to be freaking happy that you made this decision a few years ago, and then you're going to really get comfortable and know your environment already. You will also on this journey get to know so many new people, so many opportunities and new ideas, and this might literally open to you a new career. So really don't get talked in some type of good opportunities right away. Think about it. Is this connecting with the person that I've just written down? And I do have a good and clear image about the person who I want to be, but I'm still scared, but I know that I want to be him or her. You always just ask and already like think like this person, and you're gonna get there very quickly. Also, it doesn't need to be perfect. Perfection never exists. In a world, look at nature. Do you see any like 90-degree shape in the nature? That all I see is something like crunched leaves on the floor and just sometimes weird colors, and trees, they're not symmetrical. I don't see any perfection in the nature, yet it's so perfect. So please don't get caught up in this, only once I'm perfect I'm gonna show the people. And also don't try to like be someone else. You can be inspired by someone, or you can recreate stuff and put it like your way to the people, but don't really try to be someone else or put any mask on you. The world doesn't need any masks or same people twice. We just need you. The only person who is really missing in this world is your true self that you're afraid to be. So don't give up on this. It's only one life to live, and it's definitely worth anything that you're going to do and that you're going to sacrifice for the fact that you one day will look at yourself in the mirror and will be like, I'm so glad that you did it. I'm so glad that you didn't give up on yourself. And this is what I'm saying to you now. I'm so glad that you're not giving up on yourself. Stay awesome.